Hello, Mr. Prime Minister. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Hello, dear Senator. How are you?
Well, I've been reading about the new attacks in the eastern part of your country by Vladimir Putin, and it's not surprising.
So, that's really a sad situation, and you know it's really a hard situation, and that's why I would like to tell you thank you that you support us in so hard time. So it's really helpful for us.
Well, I'm putting on a statement today and a letter to the President saying that it's important for us to provide lethal defensive weapons to your country and do it immediately. It is authorized in the legislation we passed last year.
You know, I would like to talk to you about sanctions, especially sanctions against Russia. We have also heard that you may be aware of the fact that our country has a very large package of sanctions against the government officials of Russia. We also know that there are similar laws in your country as well. We are disappointed to hear recent news in the media that the United States want to lift the sanctions. How probable is this scenario in 2017?
Well, the Washington Post has an excellent editorial this morning that there is a absolute requirement to respond to the renewed activities. The title of the editorial is "Rockets Fall on Ukraine."
That's absolutely true, and our town Avdiivka had big damage from Russian army.
Well, I'm sending a letter to the President to urge him to announce the provision of lethal defensive weapons to your country, and none of us, and I'm sure you, Mr. Prime Minister, are not surprised that Vladimir Putin should decide to test the new president.
Absolutely, I agree totally, and I hope that President Trump will press on Putin because of these events. What happened?
And I will do everything I can to be of assistance.
I heard you want to make new sanctions, and we plan to make new sanctions against Russia because of hacking attacks. We want to make the same law in our parliament.
I have to be very frank with my friend, the Prime Minister, and that is that I do not know what the President is going to do. At least in the beginning, he's not been specific, but apparently for now, he is not for removing sanctions. As you know, we in the Senate and Congress have stated if that he relaxes those sanctions, we will act legislatively. That won't be easy, but we will certainly make that effort.
Of course.
It is a fact that Vladimir Putin tried to affect the outcome of our election. I will keep you informed as I hear of the decisions that are made by the White House. As you know, there's a great deal of confusion now, but we will continue to advocate, including our Senate leader, Senator McConnell, for maintaining sanctions and increasing sanctions. But I have to tell you, my friend, I cannot predict what this president will do. That's why we must keep the pressure on.
Do you think that Trump is a friend of Putin? Do you really think so?
I'm encouraged by the fact that after his conversation with Putin, there was no comment about sanctions. But again, my dear friend, I cannot predict. I think the important people right now is Tillerson, who, although friends with Putin at one time, must be very careful because of the process of his confirmation as to how he handles the sanctions issue. I kind of think he will be very cautious. I do know that General Mattis is strongly in favor of sanctions, and he is, as you know, extremely influential. My friend, I will never stop working. I will do everything I can, and I wish I could predict more about what Trump is going to do, but the fact that he has not said anything since he has become president may give us a small bit of optimism, but these are the most challenging times in the years that I have been here.
We are also worried about the fate of the NATO and the EU, and we were afraid that the US will leave and withdraw from participation in this organization. We really want to become members of these two unions. In your opinion, what do we need to do in order to become members of this organization, at least 1 year? What we need to do?
I think you should state your strong commitment to being a member of NATO, but I don't think anything is going to happen until the whole issue of U.S.-Russia relationship is settled. And you and I know Vladimir Putin. He is not ready to stop his aggression, not only against you, but the Baltics and in Syria. So in the long run, I think we are going to be in the most challenging time, which means there will be more support for Ukraine membership in NATO. At the moment, I would just, if I were you, I would just restate our desire to be members of NATO, and let's see what happens in the next few months.
We have information that Putin is preparing a series of compromising material for the U.S. public that concerns you directly. They are planning to spread the information that you have been collaborating with the Russian secret services and that you have been recruited while in captivity in Vietnam. But and it will be soon published by Russia Today.
I will look forward to that. I thank you, Mr. Prime Minister, and I will look forward to them revealing how I was brainwashed by by our North Vietnamese friends. I thank you, Mr. Prime Minister, and I'd be very interested. Actually, I'd be very interested, and maybe you could ask your ambassador to tell me more about that information. I'd be very interested.
Okay. And we got a secret information from our security service that Russia and Putin personally are planning a series of hacker attacks on your servers or on your personal servers. And Putin has already issued an order to his personal hackers, Aberwalk and Slavik. They are already in the blacklist and they are under sanction. And then his special pranksters, Lexus and Vovan, that they want to make attacks on your phone line 24 hours. So I just need to let you know that.
I thank you very much for that information, and I will certainly be aware of it as to the content of my conversations as far as any national security issues are concerned. I thank you, sir, and I look forward to seeing you, and we'll win this fight. We'll win.
And last question, I just want to ask you about new sanctions. You wanna make sanctions against Putin or his advisors or against companies?
I think it's against advisors and companies that engage in these activities. But our first our first challenge is to make sure that the existing sanctions are not lifted.
Yeah, you worry that it could be?
I've been encouraged by the president's comments so far, but I was very worried because of the comments he made during the campaign about Putin.
Could you tell us the persons who could be in the list in the sanctions?
No, we haven't gotten that far yet. Primarily, it was sanctions against their commercial activities and other banking and financial institutions. But I can get that to you. And again, I thank you for the call, and I look forward to seeing you, and I thank you for your leadership.
Thank you so much, dear Senator. Our doors are open for you.
There you go. Thanks again. Bye-bye.
Bye.